Hey guys, welcome to the channel. Today I have this 2021 Ford EcoSport, and today I want to make a video on why is the EcoSport so hated? Does it deserve the hate? Because everyone I talk to pretty much hates this car. And we're gonna go over to see if it's actually that bad, if it's actually a pretty decent car, the reasons why people hate it, everything like that. I chose this SE trim because I figured this is the majority of what people would buy. They'd buy just the middle of the road, you know, just regular trim, not the top of the line trim, which can get very expensive for what you get. Not expensive as like a vehicle, but you know. So obviously right off the bat, styling. So it's kind of ugly. I mean, we gotta keep it real. It's pretty ugly. Let's be honest. So that's one of the main reasons why people hate it so much, is that it's just too ugly. A lot of people call it clown cars, Fred Flintstone cars. So just take a look at it. So that's part of the reason why. Number two is it's just too small for most people's needs. So let's go ahead and check out the trunk space here. And it's really weird. You have to open the liftgate like this, which is very awkward. And let me tell you why. So I actually took this exact vehicle to go get some water yesterday for our showroom. And so I pulled up the cart right behind the car, and I was like, oh, I forgot it opens like a lift gate. So that's awkward. I mean, because it just gets in the way when it's like that. But anyway, so right here, this is your trunk space. So you can see there's not a lot of trunk space back here. You can stack up stuff pretty decently high, I guess. But even with the seats folded down, which is not a flat load surface, there's just not a lot of room in here. So I'm gonna put the seats up so you guys can see how it's just so small. It's fairly easy to lift this up right here. Make sure you don't pinch the seat belt, and just put that down like that. And I need to move my seat up. That's another thing, is the leg room and all that's not that great. I'll show you guys in a second. All right guys, so I'm very tall, so obviously the seat's all the way back for me. But look at this leg room, or I should say lack thereof. Look at this. No leg room in the back. The seats are as hard as a rock. Like you can probably play basketball on these seats. That's how hard these seats are. There's no sort of like air vents, anything in the back, no connectivity. And look how far up that front seat is in the front, and there's still not that much legroom in the back. So adding to the fact that it's just too small of a vehicle for most people's needs. I will, however, say, I'm not going to say everything is bad. Me being 6'5", I actually do fit fairly comfortably in the front. You know, it's not like I'm all up in the dash or anything, if the seat is all the way back, that is. All right guys, here's another reason why the EcoSport is so hated. It has this itty bitty 1-liter 3-cylinder timing belt engine, and it's supposed to be a lifetime timing belt, and you know how that goes. So this is another reason why. 120 horsepower, think about that. This car is over 3,000 pounds, and it has 120 horsepower in 2021. That's just not acceptable. I will, however, say it's not that bad on the street if you're driving normally. We will get into a drive later, but it's pretty bad when you're going like all the way down. It's bad. You can only get this engine on front wheel drive. If you get 4-wheel drive, you get the 2-liter naturally aspirated 4-cylinder, which you might think, oh, okay, you can get the 2-liter, so it's so much better. It might be better as far as like reliability and stuff is concerned, but the 4-cylinder gets worse gas mileage, and it feels extremely sluggish around town because you have to wring it out to get any power. And the transmission is so lazy, and I'll show you guys later. But fuel economy is horrible. 27 city, 29 highway. All right, folks, we're inside the EcoSport now. Let's go ahead and start up. At least SEs do get push button starts, so that's nice. It doesn't look terribly dated in here. The outside looks dated. There's no LEDs or anything. I mean, I guess the daytime running lights are LED, but the outside looks extremely dated. But in here is not that bad, but everything's kind of hard. Everything just feels cheap and crappy. But at this price point, I'm not expecting a Mercedes S-Class. So I guess it's okay for what it is, but definitely not great by any stretch of the imagination. All right guys, we got ourselves all set up here. Let's go ahead and take this EcoSport for a spin and figure out another reason why people hate it so much. All right, I actually can move the seat up a little bit and just feel a little bit more snug. It's okay to drive, to be honest. It's not that bad to drive. I like using these to get around the lot because they're small and easy, and easy to get in and out of and stuff like that. So there are some good qualities to the EcoSport. The majority of them are bad. Okay, so the transmission. There's a good thing to the transmission and a horrible thing to the transmission. The good thing is that it's buttery smooth and it feels like a slip and slide, which is okay for this car's use, but if it takes forever to kick down, it's super slow with shifts, so it's not good for performance, but I guess for this car's use, it's okay. We'll see when we get onto the highway. But the driving, like driving it actually isn't that bad. You know, it's pretty nimble to zoom around town and stuff, but it just takes way too long to downshift and stuff. Let's take this corner. I forgot I have stuff in here. Okay, not bad, not bad. Steering wheel feels pretty good. It looks like the old Focus's steering wheel. It's all right. All right, guys, we're gonna put it in S and turn off traction control, so things are gonna get real crazy real soon. All right, guys, here we go. Look, this is floored. Look at this. Finally catching up to the Lexus. Take this corner. I mean, in that case, it wasn't that bad. It was bad, but it wasn't that bad. We're gonna come to a stop here, and we'll see how the transmission shifts and everything going through the gears. This was an ex-service loaner, so it already has a bunch of miles on it. So let's do a little bit of, let's give it a little bit of, here we go. Okay, so I think we were accelerating for about 3.5 hours, and we got up to like 65 miles an hour. So that's another reason why people hate it so much. It's just way too slow. And the 2-liter 4-cylinder, it feels not horrible when it's revving all the way out to 6,000 RPM, but as soon as it shifts or it gets below 6,000, it feels gutless. It feels even slower than this engine. And this engine, you know, benefits from the turbo because it feels quicker going around town. Another thing to think about is that there's fierce competition. So Hyundai's coming out with a bunch of new and crazy stuff, and the Toyota CHR and Honda HR-V I think are both better than this car. So that's another thing, is that the competition is just so much better. And these seats, I swear, I'm telling you, you can dribble a basketball in these seats. That's how hard they are. So now I want to go over some positive things, why someone might want a car like this, why someone might need a car like this. So let's say you have a kid going out to college. They need to get you want them to have a new car with a warranty and stuff. They want an SUV, or they need 4-wheel drive, something like that. This might work for that situation. Or let's say you just want to spend the least money possible. You want to get yourself into a Ford SUV, then it's okay. Or if you're using it for only like city around town driving, then it might work. But if you're like going on the highway or something, you just need something with more power. You just do. It will hold speed on the highway, but you can't really pass vehicles at any sort of speed in this thing. So you can hold speed on the highway, or you can like accelerate very slowly, but yeah. So this is one of those cars where, you know how some cars are so slow that they give you like a lot of throttle response to make them feel like there's more left in the throttle when really there's not? That's how this car is. Drive around town, use half throttle, you'll be kind of zooming around town just fine. But if you floor it, you're gonna go nowhere. That's just how it is. Again, let's see how it kicks down. Let's see how long it takes to kick down. Now I finally kicked down. Yeah, it's just, I don't know. Let me know what you guys think of the EcoSport. Do you think Ford should have never brought this to the United States? I think Ford should have never brought this to the United States. Give me a new next generation Fusion and get rid of this thing. That's what I think. But, you know, I know they have their specific business decisions and all that. Let me know, did I bring up some valid points? Am I right? Am I wrong? What do you think? And like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one.